There comes a moment in many human lives when the noise begins to change, not suddenly, not dramatically, but quietly, like a background hum that you didn't notice until it stopped. And somewhere between youth and old age, between striving and slowing, between becoming and being, people often find themselves unsettled in ways they don't fully understand, asking questions that never seemed urgent before, wondering why achievements that once felt meaningful now feel strangely hollow, or why paths once chosen with confidence now feel unfamiliar. And this moment is what we often call a midlife crisis, though the word crisis itself is misleading, because in many cultures, including Chinese culture, the word crisis carries a double meaning, danger on one hand and opportunity on the other. And the truth is that midlife is not simply a breakdown. It is a crossroads, a turning point where the direction of one's inner life becomes harder to ignore. And what happens here matters deeply, not because it decides everything, but because it reveals what was already forming all along. In the first half of life, most of us are busy building, becoming, proving, surviving, fitting in, and meeting expectations, both our own and those placed upon us by family, culture, and society. And during this time, the questions are often practical. Who should I be? What should I do? How do I succeed? How do I belong? How do I survive? And these questions are necessary, because without structure, identity, and direction, a young person cannot function in the world. But the danger comes when we mistake these early answers for permanent truths, when the roles we learn to play become prisons rather than tools. And midlife is often the moment when the soul, the deeper self, begins to resist living entirely on borrowed scripts. Carl Jung spoke about this beautifully when he described the second half of life as the time of individuation, a process not of becoming someone new, but of becoming whole, of integrating the parts of ourselves that were ignored, suppressed, postponed, or sacrificed in the service of adaptation. And individuation does not mean rejecting the life we built, but questioning whether it reflects who we truly are. And this questioning can feel deeply uncomfortable, because it threatens the identity we worked so hard to construct. And this is why midlife can feel like a crisis, because it asks us to let go of certainty, to tolerate ambiguity, and to look inward rather than outward for validation. Some people, when faced with this inner turning point, choose growth, consciously or unconsciously, and begin to reflect, to soften, to become more honest with themselves, to accept their limitations, to reconcile with their past, and to deepen their understanding of who they are